Welcome to Fashion Voices, a new show that brings together the hearts and minds of the industry's greats for an unfiltered conversation on a different topic each week.
Ain't no new rappers on the mood board. It's like Method Man, Nas, how they dress. Before it was like new. Now cycle. That's just my opinion.
If we're not going to be recognized by this mainstream publication, then we're going to make our own versions of it.
In this episode, we are joined by an exceptional group of fashion insiders to talk about the next big thing, from brands to designers to compelling voices on social media and beyond.
Their labels have to be sustainable. They see it as something that is a given.
I love her shoes, the upgraded secondhand Nike trainer heels. Need a pair of those.
Joining me on this week's panel, we have the wonderful Browns fashion buying director, PETERSSON.
Hi.
Also joining us from London is Emma Hope Allwood, head of fashion at Dazed Digital.
Hey.
And finally from LA, we have artist and designer TREMAINE EMORY.
Hello.
So let's talk about new talent. Ida, I'm coming to you first. Can you identify a designer, brand, or store that we should all be looking at?
Like when someone says one, it's like I have to choose between my children. There's like Motherland there, which is this awesome skate crew that designs some really kick-ass things. And people like Casablanca that I'm obsessed with. I think the print work on the silk is just insane. And then on other spectrum, women like Marine Serre, who has been pushing the boundaries on sustainability, or someone sort of super pretty and beautiful like Cecilia Benson. And then the list goes on. I mean, it's a handful. I have 530 brands, so 530 children.
TREMAINE, who are you looking at?
Clothing in a way, not to take away from anyone, it's easy to get the technical part down. You can find the people to help you do that, or you can put in the 10,000 hours. The hard part is the intention. So Beastroy, it's two young men from Atlanta, Georgia. They're telling a powerful story of young black men dealing with police brutality, dealing with being black in America in the world. And there's others too, but those are the ones that come to mind.
Emma.
Ankuta Saka, who's a footwear designer, and what she does is she takes old Nike secondhand trainers and remakes them into heels. And to me, taking something old and reimagining it into something new is something that I think is really encouraging to see young designers partake in and be excited by. So I love her shoes, the upgraded secondhand Nike trainer heels. I need a pair of those.
They are awesome, Emma.
Yeah.
I got two pairs. They're really amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so you could give me one of your pairs and then you still got one.
Sure.
I know we're all grounded at the moment, but is there a city or locality that's producing particularly interesting brands and designers right now? Where are the hotspots?
Something that I am just really excited by is the fact that it just feels like the internet is the scene. I'm interested to see what happens basically after, when we're allowed to all move around again.
Yeah, Ida, you're nodding.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in that too. I mean, I think for me, and Emma's so right, and I think that the world has become what you can find online. And I think there's something that obviously with Instagram already, actually, from us, from a buying perspective, we started to to find people there, and it didn't matter if you were sitting in a basement in Siberia, but you could still be found and seen.
The internet and the social media is a superconductor for culture. So then it kind of eradicates hotspots, because a culture hotspot is from a little petri dish of culture and people and social constructs that grow slowly and then it germinates. That doesn't happen anymore. So I don't think there's any places like that anymore, unless it's some place without Wi-Fi and without TikTok or Instagram. So wherever that place is, that's where it's happening.
Doesn't that sound like quite a fun place though as well?
Yeah.
So I know that we touched on this before, but I'm wondering, in sustainability and conscientious design, which designers and ambassadors and brands are you getting excited about? Ida, tell me.
I had a feeling you were going to come to me.
Did you?
You know what? Yeah. No, I mean, I was hoping, this is something that's super dear to me. We work with Duranlantic and still work with him. And I think he's absolutely incredible. Any fashion company, any store, you produce dead stock. You can't sell it. It's, you know, if it's too damaged, you can't give it to charity because no one's going to wear it. But what he does is like he basically takes the garment and then just, you know, a bit like PETERSSON does, who we also obviously talked about earlier, who's also fantastic. But he does that with clothes. I also, there's a girl called Mariessa that I am in awe of. She graduated like last year, and she uses like fast fashion labels. And because they all get thrown away, which is crazy. And like the amount that generates is insane. And she basically makes them into garments. And then I think I can't not mention like Colleen Estrada. Like Hillary is incredible in that sphere. I think people like that needs to be commended, and they're pushing, you know, innovation and design forward. But I think what is most exciting for me is like, you know, I meet a lot of graduates and you know, young designers. And I think now, recently in the last year, actually, it's almost something that they don't mention anymore. They see it as something that is a given. Like their labels have to be sustainable. It warms my heart tremendously, and it gives such a good message to the guys at the top, because they are the ones who actually have more work to do.
I'm so excited to see how, you know, more brands embrace that, and also how luxury brands embrace that. And Gucci just recently came out with like a collection that was made of, I think, recycled nylon. Prada has been doing things with recycled nylon. So it's really exciting, I think, to see not only the kind of the small independent designers, but the really big fashion houses embrace this as well.
Now, for something completely different, I wanted to talk about social media. Who do you think is doing super interesting stuff socially, especially? Tremaine.
There's this Instagram called The Fake Pan, and you know, it's doing everything from a comic strip on George Floyd to Emmett Till to all kinds of things. I love this Instagram because it just cuts to the point, and I'm a student of it.
Emma, who are you looking at? What's hot? What's new?
On Twitter, there's someone who I want to shout out, who I love, and who was on the Dazed 100 this year. She's called Shelby Ivy Christie, and she is an amazing fashion historian of like Black fashion moments, and she uses her Twitter to just tell stories that maybe you didn't know, or like explore outfits from history that were important. And I cannot wait to see the first exhibition that she puts on. I'm like, I just can't wait. Like, she's someone who is doing like really, you know, really important work within a fashion space. So I love her.
What about music and film? What is going on? Who's got their ear to the ground? What am I missing?
It's interesting because film and music dictated fashion from the beginning, and now it's reversed somehow. Like, ain't no new rappers on the mood board. It's like old Tupac, Method Man, Nas, how they dress. Same thing for the rock and rollers in any genre. There's no new Kurt Cobain style-wise. He's still on everyone's mood board. He's still being emulated by the soloists in every other brand. So it's like more, now it's like a cycle, where before it was like new. Now cycle. That's just my opinion.
I hope what happens next is that we move away from this, like the same old cliches, the same old visuals, the same old pictures, the same old types of people, and we just embrace something that's like a lot more multifaceted, a lot more fun, a lot more spontaneous, and a lot more changeable, and that we kind of embrace the nuance, because I think in life, like, the fun stuff is in the nuance and the grey areas.
So I want to know, who are the new gatekeepers, curators, buyers, or brands that are elevating next-gen talent today? Who is looking after the youth?
I think it's been extraordinary seeing, I mean, Marisa, I think she's incredible. The way that she is helping, you know, new talent and supporting like just the design community in general, it's been incredible. I think people like Pia Moss, like what Samuel did at Cold War in terms of helping young Black businesses, young Black owned businesses specifically. You know, Aurora, of course, James, Brother Wallace are incredible. You know, the movement that she kind of set in place is great. And then I think maybe not the gatekeepers, but they're the people that are going to be pushing innovation and helping create a new world of fashion.
Emma, who's looking after the next gen?
Well, I think the next gen are looking after themselves.
Hey, good answer. No, that's a good answer.
Things like, you know, the Vogue challenge, for example, was a really kind of clear example of that. people saying, you know, if we're not going to be recognized by this mainstream publication, then we're going to make our own versions of it. And that was something that I thought was so inspiring, and also really symbolic of a wider attitude change. That's the direction that I want the fashion industry to go in. It's not this idea of exclusivity, or it's only these people allowed in the room, or it's only these people who get invited to the show or to the party, or who are allowed to buy this item. But this idea that fashion can and should be for everyone, and art can and should be for everyone. And yeah.
What you're saying is 2021, no gatekeepers, no gates. Just open paddock roaming. I'm here for it. No gatekeepers, no gates is kind of the one. Tremaine, is there anyone that you think is a good gatekeeper, but you know, supporting new gen talent in a positive way?
And I'll just speak for my own personal life. Is Virgil Abloh. I could sit and talk for probably hours and hours straight, stuff that how I've seen Virgil help all types of people. And so to me, he's far as I know, in this spectrum fashion, he's so open, showing all the codes, helping where he can. And he's an incredible human being in a lot of ways, but it's not about say, hey, look, I did something good, you know? It's about just doing things and keeping it moving. So
yeah, it's not performing, it's living, it's just what you do.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me on the talk today. See you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. If you like what you saw today, subscribe to the Farfetch YouTube channel. Leave comments below to tell us how good we are or how bad we are, or what you would like to hear us talking about. And we will see you next time.